The Trump plan does say that Hamas will have no role in governing the future of Gaza. So you can confirm then that your role as Hamas is over?
We are ready to hand over the government. We are ready to be totally away from any government or governing body. But when it comes to Hamas as an entity, as a Palestinian liberation movement, I think no one can overcome or exclude Hamas. Hamas is also present in the West Bank. Hamas is present in Jerusalem, in the diaspora. Therefore, Hamas is not only the government in Gaza. And therefore, yes, we are ready to leave the government for a Palestinian body, but we are still there on the ground.
And what about disarming? Because you're talking about a political ideology, but there's also calls for Hamas to completely disarm itself. Is that something that Hamas is willing to do?
Our weapons are going to be handed over only to the hands of a Palestinian state. And our fighters can be integrated into the Palestinian National Army. Before that, no one has the right to deny us the right to resist the occupation by all means.
But for now, you're saying you don't want to and you will not disarm?
If you ask it directly, yes, we are not going to be disarmed as long as we are not sure that this will lead by any other means to have an independent, self-sovereign state which is able to defend itself.
I've just finished interviewing a Hamas leader based out of Doha. It was a wide-ranging interview, it was extensive, it went for about 40 minutes or so. And some of the things that were quite striking to me was he initially said that, of course, he isn't satisfied with this deal. He doesn't think that any Palestinian is satisfied with this particular deal, but that they were left between a rock and a hard place. He went on to say the deal wouldn't have been possible without the pressure of Donald Trump. So he thanked President Donald Trump for this deal and for getting it over the line and for putting pressure on Benjamin Netanyahu. When I asked him about disarmament, this was incredibly striking because he basically said, we are not going to disarm. This is part of our resistance and we are not going to disarm until we feel we're in a position where we don't need our arms. So I thought that was quite striking because that is a fundamental point of this 20-point plan of Donald Trump's. And finally, he was incredibly critical of any involvement of Tony Blair's in the future governance of Gaza.